Hi, I'm Daisy,
Hi, I'm David.
and we're the MSA Crusaders. Hello, we're here with another episode of MSA Crusaders. Today we have our guest, which is MSAC patient Danielle. And Danielle, how are you doing today?
Good. Hello, Daisy. How are you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for joining us. Danielle, we're going to
Thank
start by have you tell us a little bit about how your life was before MSA.
my life before MSA. I was very, very busy. I'm a Navy Reserve. I worked at FedEx thinking it was my retirement job. I
Thank you for
worked
your
there for
service,
about,
by the way.
4 years. And prior to that, I worked 28 years as a CNA, a helper at Good Shepherd Hospital. It's like a rehab hospital. And like I said, it from pediatrics to neuro, and never seen this disease until I got it. I have twin boys. They're 17 years old, and I'm married. I'm still married. Um, like I said, it's learning to enjoy what I have while I have it right now.
Am I the only one that wants to say like congratulations on still being married in today's world? That's got to be really, really hard to do to have a disease such as MSA and also have two children and carry a marriage at the same time.
And it takes a special mom to mother twins, by the way. So
Oh, believe me, they're in a world of their own. They're 17 at that age.
Are they identical?
Yes, they are. Here's one for you guys. Oh, wow. They were born on my husband's birthday.
Oh, you got three males on the same birthday.
That's a lot of
I
money for one
only
day.
forgot my husband's birthday when they turned 1 year old.
Well, I don't doubt that. That would be very easy. You got your twins having their first birthday. Oh, forget about the husband. He's celebrating many birthdays.
Right? It's about the
I
kids
had
now.
each of the boys' cake and I just wrote his name in the icing, and he
That's
was so.
funny.
They
Poor,
become your third child somehow.
yeah, poor
Oh,
husband.
for sure. For sure. Danielle, tell us about how things went and progressed to your diagnosis. What were your first symptoms?
Well, we were on vacation. Um, when I worked at FedEx, my husband works at a different FedEx. He's a truck driver. When we were on vacation, I started falling. And prior to going on vacation, like a couple of days before, they do a truck driver champion, where that's at Kalahari. It's a water park. Um, and there I noticed I was getting sluggish. And then when we went to Ocean City, Maryland, I kept falling on the beach, in the water and the sand. And people around me were filming. And I thought they were filming because thought I was drunk. Well, here there was a whale in the water at the time. So when we got back home after a week of being on vacation.
So they were
I
filming. They were filming the whale, not you, right?
they're filming the whale. I looked over my shoulder. I figured, well, I'll might as well sit on the ground while I'm on the ground and watch
Watch the whale.
the whale, because he was close too, and it was a
Oh, how
beautiful
cute.
thing to see.
I bet.
Um, at that time, like I said, I noticed like everything I did to the left of me, because I had a little dog back then. I kept falling, and it hurts to fall. Let me tell you, if you don't land
Oh
right
yeah,
good.
can be
But
very dangerous.
yes, at Muhlenberg, they said nothing was wrong with me. That was on July 25th of 2020. Well, in October, I ended up at Lehigh Valley Hospital because I was so tired, and I could have swore I had like Chiari or MS or something. I knew something was wrong with my body. And the doctor that came out to see me, coincidentally, his son wrestled with my son. I didn't know he was a ER doctor. He said, "We know something is wrong with you, but we don't know what." So they put me down with weakness, because he and I talked. I told him that November 6th, I had an appointment in Philadelphia. Well, I took on the apps how they have for everything anymore. The CAT scan and MRI that I had done at Miller Lehigh Valley Hospital was given the pen, and Penn like said, "Oh, that's everything." Lehigh Valley said was not that was something big at Penn. They found it right away. They saw it, and they labeled it with cerebellum ataxia.
Was it because
And
your
then
cerebellum was shrinking?
yes, and then a year later, yeah, they said it was MSA. So I went to an MSA clinic and doctor.
So what was the date that you were diagnosed with MSA?
Last year, 2023,
In December?
November.
November.
And December 6th is when I went for my first MSA appointment.
Oh,
Was that with a movement disorder specialist or just a regular
Correct.
neurologist?
All three of them. There was a
Okay.
movement disorder doctor, a neurologist, and somebody else in the room.
So, Danielle, as a mother of two twins, 17, and a wife, how has MSA changed your parenting skills?
parenting.
Well, I used to have really, really big muscles and always work out at the gym. Like if you saw me, yeah, I'll send you a picture with me in a Hulk. You'll see, David. My
Really?
muscles were big. Yes.
So you're like
Um,
bodybuilding and things like that?
I did it for myself. Like I
Okay,
work out every day
good,
just
good.
because I enjoy it and it works out. I used to um work down the street from the gym, so I used to go to the gym just to feel better about myself. That was my thing. Um, and then when COVID came around, like we always go on walks and hikes, me and the kids, or walk at the parks or go through the woods, whatever. Before MSA, I was very hyper, and I used to go, 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 go. And I've raised the boys like they were easy when they're young, but now they're at that age where, like,
Being a
they
teenager.
what's that?
At the age of they're being a teenager.
Yes, I hate to
That's
say the
that's
dipshit
why
age.
I have two daughters and I don't want a son. So that's probably why.
I like Danielle's name for it. At the dipshit age.
It's true though. We all go through it. So
I mean,
so you're very active. And then COVID comes, and did COVID make the MSA symptoms, and does it make it worse?
no, it was the isolation, like with COVID. Things were closed down, so I had to keep entertaining the kids and bike riding and going mountain hiking mountains with them. Um, like I said, right now they're in Virginia at their wrestling duels. They call it Virginia duels. I mean, they come home from school, they nap. I certain months, um, one changes our water, one changes the garbage, takes it outside, and their attitudes in their mind, they think they're slaves.
I did too when I was a kid. So,
I
and by
did
the way,
too.
it's not napping. It's called a hibernation when they come home.
Their hours and my hours are two totally
Yeah.
different things.
What changes have you had to make to maintain?
I've had the stress of them, to pick up their shoes. Like they come home from school and they kick off their shoes. They don't realize, I use a rolling walker. I
Yeah.
have a rollator on one level that I walk around with, and different level I have a walker with an armrest. Um,
I want one of
they
those.
can't leave things lay around. Here's an example. Like yesterday, somebody went down the basement and moved my rolling walker out of my breach. It was way across the room. I thought, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Now I
Oh,
can't get to where I'm going, so I turn around, come back up the steps of my rollator, and have my son go get uh, my other walker so that I could just get where I was going.
So
They
they help
just
you
don't
out?
think, what?
They're good about helping you out?
No, truthfully, no.
No. They don't hide your walker and say, they're going to
Are
so
they
mom can't get to
hiding your
you.
walker?
Don't
I
give
hope.
them ideas.
No, no, we're gonna edit that one out. Yeah. So are children, young adults, boys, young men, do they understand your condition, or are they still an arm's distance away from knowing what it is?
They understand. I mean, me and my husband have told them, like, this might be the best it is because when this all first started, at least I was kind of walking with the cerebellum when they said cerebellum ataxia. I had walking sticks, and then I went to a cane. They saw the decline in me, and I said to them, "While I have a voice now, I don't know if tomorrow I'll have a voice. Just enjoy what we have while we have it. I mean,
Hmm.
because you hear all these stories."
Yeah, that's true. Like anytime I do it myself, anytime I do any physical work, like work on my car. I mean, I'm not even talking about like major work, but trying to check things out, tighten things, clean, vacuum, my voice will be gone, like instantly from the aggravating the tremors that we have. It's the weirdest sensation of having your voice right now. Go outside for 5 minutes and mow the lawn, come back in, no voice. It's just the weirdest thing.
Mine feels like somebody squeezes my voice,
Squeezes your voice.
my voice box in my throat.
Oh.
It's like they're choking me.
Practice with the I when I had therapy, they said there was a practice session with the voice Parkinson Voice Project. They sent a book out to me, and there's an online group that you could practice with them daily. So to keep up on it, to keep my muscles strong in my vocal cords.
Do you have speech therapy?
I did. I stopped about 2 weeks ago.
Do you have the very intensive speech therapy? I think they call it VBS or something like that.
No, I did
No,
not.
yeah. There's a very intensive speech regimen that is very strenuous, and my doctors, they said, like, don't do it until you're losing, like, lost your voice almost, because it's so strenuous. I was just curious. I've only known one person to take it so far.
I I will show y'all this later because I don't have anybody to get it for me. But I've got this new thing that looks like a pipe. It's called Breather. Have y'all seen this? You can adjust the resistance on them and inhale and exhale through the breather. And so it can strengthen your breathing to strengthen your throat, your tongue, and the muscles that help you swallow. Have y'all seen that or heard of it?
Never.
Daisy, it sounds like a crack pipe to me.
That's
It doesn't
what
look
I was thinking.
That's all I heard was I got a pipe and I inhale.
but no, seriously, my husband found it at the Salvation Army for like $1. But I looked them up and they're like $60. So and my speech therapist said that that was a very good tool for me. And she was going to start recommending it to some of the patients.
Yeah,
Interesting.
get a picture of it. Yeah. Well, that's true of our normal cells, Danielle. Like, I'm going to go out on a limb here. You're talking about being very physically fit and active. That's probably one of the only reasons why. I mean, you're 4+ years into this. That's probably one of the only reasons why you're like me, like us, still walking per se. I mean, even assisted, because if we weren't very active, they tell everybody in Parkinson's and MSA, like, exercise, exercise, exercise. It
Yep.
slows it down because you're able to still function, not fall as much and hurt yourself, and still eat your own food and things like that. But yeah, I can see, like, even your voice and stuff is well, you might think it's bad, it's very understandable. That's what we can hear really good, and you're still making gestures and stuff like that. So it shows up, being active, especially throughout your whole life, especially when you're younger and stuff. Definitely helps push a lot of these symptoms back. Maybe not the autonomic, but the not being able to do things physically definitely pushes those things back by a couple of years.
Okay, y'all. Here it is.
It does look like a pipe. Wow.
Told you it has, didn't it?
Looks like a marker on one end.
It has adjustments on both sides for your inhale and your exhale, so you can change the resistance.
Oh, it's like the machine. It's like a cheaper version of the breathing test I did in my last clinic I went to, and IU Health. The one they did the breathing test, it measures outflow and inflow, uh, but
Yes.
and it has resistance on there. So yeah, it's probably almost the same thing.
It's very handy.
Looks like a 360 camera, like a surround camera for
It
the
comes with
house.
a little tracking guide, so you can track, and there's an app that you can use with it too. Till
Oh,
you inhale and you keep inhaling till she says exhale. So I've
it's
just started using this recently.
it's a smart pipe.
It's a smart pipe. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to show y'all that. Share that with y'all. It's my new toy.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, anything helps, that's for sure. So Danielle, how did you stop working? So you said you did a lot of things. Sounds like a lot of medical stuff. Um, how did that, like mine was very instantaneous. Like once my HR kind of knew that I had this progressive terminal disease, they're like, yeah, reasonable accommodation, but you're on leave, basically not working anymore. It was all at once. Even though I was working from home practically every day, um, they still, still liability nonetheless. How did that come about for you when you stopped working because of this?
At the time I was working at FedEx, yet on a computer. Um, I was only there for about 4 years, like I said, and I had come back from vacation. That doctor, when you follow up, uh, released me back to work and everything. And he wrote me like a high school note, like patient can return to work. Well, I still was having issues, and we spent $5,000 at, yeah, $5,000 at decompression therapy, they call it. Thinking something was wrong with my back because, like I said, I kept falling still. I still was out of whack. I still felt the symptoms and that. So while I was going to this decompression doctor, he wrote up a note that not to work because, and while I wasn't working, I was filing for disability, which took
Yeah.
over a year to get disability. You really have to fight for it.
You talking about like short term, long term, or the government Social Security?
Government Social Security get
Yeah.
now.
And
That's a,
did you have to hire an advocate, or were you able to do it on your own?
We did it on our own. We did seek a lawyer. We had him on retainer, but we never had to go that route then.
good. Good. So he or she does not take a percentage of your
Right.
disability. Yeah.
Yes.
Good for you.
Okay, I found out how to speak now.
She hit that pipe again.
Can you share any memorable or significant moments in your journey with MSA that has shaped your perspective?
Well, my concern was, like I said, we have three hospitals around here. We have Muhlenberg, which is Lehigh Valley. Then we have Lehigh Valley at a different place. And we have St. Luke's. We have lived here probably 6 years. Just moved. So I went into any old doctor. I had to backtrack and go to a doctor that had me prior, who see me a lot, and just had to go back to him. My concern was, I don't have many options if something else happens having this condition. Where do I go? So I still am with this group, and there's still St. Luke's that is left. Um, my concern is, I called the doctor back that labeled me anxiety, agitated, depressed. I called them back, the answering service. I said, to make peace with him, to make peace with God. I said, to see when I meet what he that's the thing that bugs me. He was wrong. And unless it like I die, which
Sounds
he
like
won't be
they're
accountable
all
for it.
just
I
saying.
said, does he want to meet at least MSA patient and get educated on it? He never called me back. I
That
was
a
You
girl.
tell
That a
them
girl.
all. You sound like the neurologist that first diagnosed me. He diagnosed me with Parkinson, and then when I couldn't tolerate the medicine, he told me that I was delusional.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, okay. So, as the only man here on this podcast today, I just want to say, agitation, anxious, depressed, and crazy. These are pretty seemingly fitting, telltale signs of some woman. So, yes, it's not a far stretch to
David, I
say.
was in the military.
We're gonna get you. I was in the army.
I was in the Navy.
Okay, I apologize.
No,
Yeah,
you
He
know,
has never seen this girl depressed or agitated. You don't
no,
want to see that side. Nobody wants to see that side of
no,
me.
absolutely not. Especially if you can sell over here. No, absolutely not.
after I got diagnosed, I called his nurse and I told her, I want you to tell him that I am not delusional, that I have MSAP, sorry, and that he needs to go back to medical school or at least to educate himself on these symptoms and what this is. So I was
Correct. Yeah.
mad, just like he's telling
Yeah,
us.
it is
I can
very.
only keep track of everything because prior to this, my son had hit surgery on his shoulder and his leg. And when I was trying to write a note for him for school, I started noticing my handwriting. Well, he
Hmm.
pointed out to me. I wrote 20 notes. I wrote it over and over. And I stopped signing cards. He's told me my handwriting was sloppy and illegible.
It looks
And
like
I,
chicken scratch, don't it?
I didn't think anything of it.
Yeah, it's normally one of the first symptoms is your handwriting starts getting smaller and smaller until it becomes illegible. Yeah.
How have you been able to stay independent since you've been diagnosed?
Um, I play lots of bingo.
I
I
love
Yeah.
mean,
it.
Love it.
I look forward to doing things with my mom, my sister-in-law. Um, do little like something at least throughout a day to get me out of the house or so I don't get cabin fever. Something to look forward to for
Hmm.
now.
I can agree with that. So have you, besides you said you did take speech therapy before, what other therapies are you in?
I have done physical and occupational therapy. I was doing physical, like I said, 2 weeks ago, for balance, and they used to hang you with a sling to the
Yeah.
ceiling,
Yeah.
and then I could walk around like that. Um, and last year I was doing, physical therapy. Each therapy has told me, there's no cure for this. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, I know.
Have you tried aquatic therapy?
I belong to actually two gyms. I belong to Planet Fitness and the YMCA. At the YMCA, they have the pool, and I always sign up for Planet Fitness. Um, to they're both just down the road from my house. I could still drive like 2 minutes away. They don't take me long to get to, so I just went there and
You
keep up on that.
you do your own aquatic therapy.
Thing, yes.
I was doing the treadmills underwater. That was very helpful in maintaining.
Ooh, that sounds neat.
It was
Oh, I'll
fun.
tell you a funny story. Well, it's not too funny. This last time when I was doing therapy, they had me on a treadmill, and the one treadmill they usually don't put a sling on you because it doesn't
Uh,
fit on the ceiling and treadmill. Here, the treadmill malfunctioned. It went up to 6 miles an hour and
Oh,
I
oh
was on
no,
it. Oh my God.
that's a nice
Did
run.
I scream? My therapist was behind me. She had me and another lady going at the same time. The kid, there's a boy in the corner. He came running over and pulled the string. I couldn't let go to pull the string.
Wow.
Here, yeah, they're lucky. I'm lucky. I had an angel or God at my back that day.
I'm lucky I was in the water when they turned this one chum out for me. He turned it on, and it was on fast, and it blew me across the pool.
Felt like a dolphin, did ya?
Yeah.
Danielle, how has I've heard a couple things here and there, but how has faith, if at all, played a role in your diagnosis and your journey with MSA?
Oh, I'm real close to him. He's my best friend. I don't
Good.
know. It's just something you feel like you can't even explain it. Like there's times I had some insecure thoughts in my head or, things I thought about, like, hobbies, like racing caterpillars to their butterflies. And when I looked out my door once, there's a caterpillar like hanging from a spider web. And I thought, oh, you are listening. You know,
Hmm.
he's there. He's there. He just shows it in bizarre ways. I mean, you got to find something to hold on to. I mean, I was never really a holy roller before this, but I mean, a girl's got to believe.
I'm sure nobody is that holy in their lifetime. So we're
I've
we're all imperfect.
I've had a I went back this past week and kind of David knows I'm kind of religious, but I've really kind of put God on pause for a little while and went back to why me, and He's not here for me. He hasn't done anything for me to help me through this, but I had talked with the priest the other night. He helped me get back on track, so now I know that when I feel alone, I'm really not alone. He's there with me, and he said, maybe you're feeling alone because no one comes to see me. I'm a big but pity party for a minute. But then
You
the priest
can.
reminded me that maybe God wants you to feel alone to remember He's really there with you.
Yeah, there are things that are not seen and not spoken that we don't know, and it's a reality check, and whether you want to attribute that to life or parenting or God, Jesus, or whatever, it's that reality check that comes in and says, you know what, I'm on the wrong track, right? I'm on the broad and wide path. I want to get on the short and narrow path. It's something like that. So yeah, I would never admit this publicly too many places, but um, I've been religious my whole life, but I'm very both sides of the aisle. Does God exist? Yeah, I would hope so. As everything I've seen, not here on Earth per se, not in people, but in how the world and the universe and things are created. Like that. Um, but it's only natural to second guess faith, and things like that, especially when you're undergoing trials and tribulations, as it's spoken about. So, you
But
know,
I had been like Saul, and
yeah,
why not me?
yeah,
A lot
yeah.
of my journeys with MSA, and then I fell back into that Paul. Well, I
As,
mean,
as long as you don't go Pontius Pilate, or we're okay. So we'll let that go. Yeah, faith is, if you don't have faith, I don't know. You've got to be a strong person if you don't have faith. Something to believe in, to pray in, to hope in, right? To especially when you get something like this, it's got to be just terrible for those that don't have some type of faith.
I always think it's because I have MSA because it's God wanting me to get the story out, to share, create awareness, and help others with MSA.
Jesus was a messenger too. I mean, he was a carpenter, but he was the message. Brought the message to the population, right?
We'll go back to my book, Unexpected Moments, shares a lot of where it could have been why me, and it was why not me throughout my whole book.
It's just peculiar. Like when people run into me that don't, I thought about putting on Facebook, like no pity parties. Just want to let my friends know I have MSA because they're connected with a lot of people, and it's a lot easier to at least tell them on Facebook and just say Google MSA
Yeah.
without getting into it, because when they run into me and they're like, you know, MSA, what's that? It's like Google it. I
Yeah.
I feel bad because I don't want to tell them, and I don't want a pity party.
Right.
And I could see by my real close friends now, it's funny how it's affected them. Like I feel for them. They can't give me eye contact. They think, oh my God, I feel
Hmm.
like an alien almost for having this. I
I know.
truly,
I've noticed that people don't know what to say to us, so they just don't say anything at all.
Yeah, they tell my wife, she'll tell them exactly what it is. Like, yeah, Danielle, I love your method of Google it. Google doesn't typically lie too much. Um, when my wife explains this to what it is, and terminal and how bad it gets, they still at the end of it say, "Well, we hope you get better and feel better." Right? It's like you feel
you're
like
not going to
Hello,
get
did you
like
not just
better.
hear what she
you you
said?
you can't. Like I was just at a religious function the other day, and they know what it is, and he's still talking to me saying, "So they can't do nothing about it." Did you not read or listen to what we said? There's only a few things in life that are certain, right? Taxes, children, and death. Maybe some children, but this is one of those things that you can't get around, and you'll still get people saying, "Well, I hope you feel better, Dave." Really? Now, maybe they're saying, "I hope you feel better. Your symptoms, like today or tomorrow, or better have a good day than a bad day." But most people are like, "Oh, it's MS." And then they hope I get better soon. It's like no balloon from Walmart is going to make this go away.
But they're like, you look good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Too good to have MSA, right? Yeah.
I hate it when they just say that, when they say you look good.
My
Danielle.
th-
Yeah. Go ahead,
my
Danielle.
my thing as I wake up, I'm still here. When these people say, "Oh, so and so passed in their sleep," I think that's the perfect way to go. I
Yeah.
That's
mean, I really, think people should have a party or celebrate, be happy. If I go my sleep, I mean, I tell them every night before I go to bed, if you're gonna take me tonight. Every morning I wake up, I think, oh, here's a new day to face and handle with these changes, um, disabilities, or and just make the best of it. I guess my positive thoughts are, it's warming up weather now. It's springtime, summer. It's my favorite season, so just take it day by day and enjoy it while you got it.
achieve what you
Good.
can today while you can.
Yep.
Danielle,
Yep.
are you trying to participate in any clinical trials for MSA?
Waiting on Philly. They're supposed to start the oh no.
Hmm.
They're just, as they say, waiting for the green light to go ahead and do it.
Good.
From
Good.
what
Good.
I understand, it's going to be like another 8-month process because they
Well,
So,
have to be
I just got a
accepted.
text from Ona. Oh no,
congratulations.
no, they just wanted to know when I started taking a certain medicine.
Oh,
And
okay. You apply for a clinical trial, and they're going to keep emailing and texting you like 10, 20 questions just because they forget. They have a questionnaire that they don't put all the questions on. So after you fill out the questionnaire, there comes 10 more, 20 more questions saying, "Oh, do you start this medicine? Do you take this medicine? Do you do that? Do you do this?" So it's yeah, the whole clinical trial is just not like a one application thing. It's ongoing.
are y'all either one of y'all on pain medicine?
Yes, that my insurance is not wanting me to get any more.
Well, has oh no say anything about your pain medicine?
I haven't applied to it because it has to start. Starting this month in Chicago, so I haven't applied yet.
Well, you're gonna run into issues.
Yeah, I don't need to take it. That's fine. I got liquor. Yeah, Lord knows my tequila, my vodka. We're okay.
You can't drink while you're on it.
Want to bet? What a bet?
David,
What a bet? There are
Danielle,
few, there
are
are
you?
few things in this life that makes symptoms better of MSA, and one of those things on the top of the list is alcohol. It slows it down for me. I'm not saying being drunk. That's Saturday nights, But during the day or throughout the day or whatever, I'll have a beer or two. It slows it down, and
It
to my
slows you
death,
down.
I will not give up. I will get alcohol in an IV if I have to. It makes things more manageable.
Danielle, do you take any pain medicine?
No, I don't. Um, I have a CBD rub that really stinks, and then I have these CBD droplets that you put on your tongue. They're quite expensive,
Yeah.
but they work. Um, they doctor prescribe like pain stuff and depressing antidepressant medicine. I haven't picked it up or
Nope.
taken anything
Nope.
because you have to take a bill with the bill. So right
What
now,
kind of pain do you have?
I always have like a pain in my shoulder, on my left side. It feels
Co-
like somebody has a
Coat hanger. Yeah.
and stabbed me like in my shoulder.
But does
My
your neck hurt too?
knee, yep,
Yeah. So the neck and the shoulders is called coat hanger syndrome. If you look that up, it's explicitly part of like MSA. That's exact. It
It's
took me 2 years
horrible.
to figure it out myself. Yeah, like Daisy mentioned it on the podcast. I was like, now it's like I got coat hangers. This is exactly what this is. Yeah, it's called coat hanger syndrome.
To me, it feels like Charlie horses in your neck.
Hmm.
It's
yeah.
horrible.
Like if I have my head tilted to the left and I swallow, it's like electricity almost feeling sometimes, and it's quite stabbing. I mean,
I got down to 97 pounds due to coat hanger syndrome in the
yeah, I'm
beginning.
having a hard time keeping weight on. I mean, I haven't seen this weight since high school, I think. I mean, I think I weigh about, and a girl never tells her weight, but I'm like 114.
Well, trust
I
me, your
net.
medicine, as they start piling on, the pounds start piling on. I've gained 100 pounds since I was diagnosed.
I think that's awesome though, Danielle. If you don't have to take now, if we're not saying not to take medicine, we are not. We're not saying to take doctor appointed medicine, but you and I, we all know that the more medicine we take adds more complications too. And
The
with
more
all due,
pounds you gain,
yeah, with all due respect, Danielle, losing weight is, not in a malicious way, but losing weight is way better on your knees and your legs for these tremors and walking around. It's the less weight we can carry while still being healthy. Like when I gain an extra 10 or 20 pounds from time to time, my meniscus, my knees are gone. They hurt so bad because I can feel when I gain weight. But when I'm down to my 180, 185 like I am now, my knees feel great,
well,
even with the tremors.
I used to work for Jenny Craig, and let me say that every pound overweight is 4 pounds of pressure on each knee. So you got two of them. So every pound overweight is 8 pounds of pressure.
Oh man, I really don't know what size I'll buy clothes wise. I I just got rid of all my clothes because they weren't fitting me and they were falling off at the waist and dragging at the feet and I was tripping over them, so I just gave them the goodwill. You tell me I need those clothes back?
Yeah, yeah. Because let me say,
Oh
Danielle,
shoot.
if long as you suffer with the coat hanger syndrome, your body is constantly burning calories. What's going on? That's what they tell me, and it makes sense because you find yourself tensing up, don't you? Do you not?
The
You,
tremors too. Yeah.
you find yourself tensing up
Oh,
like
that's
that.
right. I do take backflipping at night.
Hmm. I got
But
that.
you're constantly burning calories as you're tremoring and tensing up. So
Yeah.
that's why you keep losing weight and you can't keep the weight on. So
Yeah.
you gotta get the trimmers and the
It's like being on Adderall.
yes, get that under control. Then the weight's gonna start coming on and the pounds start piling on, unfortunately. But I guess as long as we're gaining weight, we're
No,
maybe
no, no. Don't put anything positive with gaining weight. No, 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 no.
In
Unless you,
what year did that happen to you, Daisy, if you don't mind me asking?
in 2019 I was having the coat hanger syndrome and got down to 97 pounds. And then 2020 I got diagnosed with Parkinson's. I was diagnosed with Parkinson's until 2021. In 2021, they finally diagnosed me with MSA, got me on the right medicine, and I started gaining the weight.
Yep.
But from
That's
19 to 21, I lost like 30 pounds. I couldn't keep the weight on.
yeah, like right now, I don't like taking medicine if I don't have to. I mean,
That's how I am.
I've been bipolar my whole life, ADHD my whole life. I've had two major surgeries my whole life from breaking stuff and tearing stuff. Like I'm no stranger to medicine, but my dad died of major overdose of medicine. And a lot of that was from Vicodin, morphine, on these other blood pressure medicines, from his other injury he had, which made him disabled. So I see what taking a lot of medicine. We're going to have so many things wrong with us with MSA that we're going to be taking so much medicine. Like honestly, you guys haven't noticed, but I should be on medicine now for bladder, but I would rather not be on it and sometimes pee my pants because I don't like the way it makes me so dizzy when I take it. So there's gives and takes. If I'm at home, I don't mind having an accident or something, but I don't want to keep being on medicine. If I leave the medicine will have a day and time when I need it. But right now, if I can more or less manage it, we're okay.
Do you have problems with your bladder, Danielle?
I do. Without getting so far, that was the first time I found God. Like before I was diagnosed with MSA, I was in the bathroom and I was constipated.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually drove myself to Rite Aid Pharmacy to get a fleet. Um, so there's a dog outside.
That's okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Pepper.
I don't have
So
blocked out.
I ended up giving myself a fleet because I used to do that when I was a nursing assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very productive. Well, here I was down on a couch. We were gonna have the cable guy come over that day. When I stood up, I was incontinent, and this was like a softball. I'm not exaggerating.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know if I should I felt so good. I felt so relieved. And I go, "Oh, you just shit your pants, girl." And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
but
you
it
have
felt so good. It was like giving birth. I didn't know how to act at the time. Thank God it was hard. I thought, oh my God, that much was in me. Like I thought I had results the first time, good results when I was continent. Then I was down on the couch and I was incontinent. And I thought,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like
I have.
I was in the bathroom. I said, somebody's got to be here because I saw stars. I mean, I was so
That
shocked.
big.
so you have bladder issues and bowel issues,
Yeah,
correct?
I take Miralax every day because I never want to
Yeah.
go through that again,
No.
ever.
Miralax doesn't work for me.
No, not for me
Miralax
either.
is
Yeah.
over the counter. You
Yeah, it
just
doesn't.
mix it in your drink or whatever. There's no taste to it.
It works for you.
Yes.
It didn't work for me. It did in the beginning. I'm not trying to scare you, but it did in the beginning and it stopped. So now I have to take a prescription Consulos. Have y'all heard of that?
No. No.
And I take it twice a day, 4 teaspoons a day. 4 teaspoons twice a day. But bladder problems, I had incontinence one day, retention one day, back and forth. And I had to take Rebitric one day and then Flomax the next day.
You have a very awesome dog. What's his name? Her name?
Her name is Pepper. Thank you. She's on another dog outside. That's how she gets. There's no controlling her.
That's a good dog, though. Gotta be on guard.
What kind of dog is it?
Um,
Is she?
she is a poodle mixed with Jack Russell. Very
Wow.
hyper.
The smartest
Very
poodle ever.
She's jump high.
Oh, she jumps really high. Really
They
high.
say Jack Russells are the smartest dogs out there,
She is pretty smart.
which definitely is going to help the poodle breed. No offense, but the poodles. Woo.
Hey, don't tell my husband today. When mom came over, she jumped up on my table, my kitchen table.
Wow.
I just looked at her like, don't tell Joe, don't tell my husband.
She's smart because pills are smart, and Jack Russells are smart, so she's very smart.
Very
I've
good.
had dogs my whole life. I usually have like Rhodesia Ridgebacks or pit bulls. This is like the first small dog I ever had.
Any regrets?
I'm learning. Mm,
Good, good.
Can I ask?
she's moody.
Can I ask if either one of you, or have y'all thought about a super pubic catheter?
Well, I don't know if you noticed about 10 minutes ago, I was moving on the podcast. I literally, to keep from getting up and going to the bathroom, I literally like halfway peed my pants. It's the urgency and incontinence. The urgency is that urge to go. The incontinence, you can't keep it in, right? And I have both those for the bladder and the bowel movements. And you know, as long as I'm at home, I can usually get to the bathroom in time. Um, when I can no longer do that, it'll be time to catheterize it for sure.
What about you, Danielle?
For right now, as far as peeing, I usually, go every hour or put myself on a bladder wheel. Um, as far as at night, I've only woke up incontinent like twice, I thought, and didn't even realize it. Um,
You
I
let Sam have
usually
me.
wake up when I go, and
Hmm.
wake up usually at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then once that happens, for if I wake up at 4, I'm up the whole day. It's
So
really bizarre.
you're able to go, or you?
Yes, I have to go.
Can I tell you what
Um,
the most weirdest? That's a double positive. What the weirdest thing about MSA to me is? Uh, I'm a man. I'm physical, right? Just like yourselves being armed forces. Like this stuff don't scare me at all. What is the weirdest thing about MSA is dreaming. Not that I have to go pee, but that I have to go number two poop, and you can feel it. You wake up to the urge of like incontinence and not being able to hold it. The weirdest sensations dreaming about going. You can't hold your bowel movements in, right? Because our whole lives we may have peed to bed once or twice or whatever, right? Because we like
Are
whenever you
you pooping
dream.
in bed, David?
No, right? When you dream about going pee, you don't go going to the toilet. You don't go to the toilet because you're dreaming. You're gonna go pee, right? But number two in your dreams is so weird. Like
Wow.
I do that more than number one in my dreams. Like it's the weirdest things in the world because that sensation is happening in the background whether you know it or not, and it's still registering to the brain. Weird, absolutely weird.
I woke up. My husband woke me up the other night. I was acting out in my sleep.
Mhm.
I was dreaming about, kid you not, kids being possessed, and I was flinging them off of me,
You need more Jesus. You need something.
and I was hitting the wall.
Yeah,
I
I
was,
punched my wife said I punched her 3 times a couple nights ago. So I've been sleeping in the other room for the last few nights just to make. She got a surgery done on her hand. I slept in the other room. Last time I'm like, I'm not going to be the one that punches you again and hits that hand. So
well, these kids' heads were spinning around, and I was flinging them off of me.
is that Poltergeist? What's that movie called?
Exorcist.
Yeah, there you
But do you act out in your
go.
sleep, Danielle?
oh my God, horrible, horrible. Um, like I said, we just moved here 6 years ago. I've always been a sleepwalker, you could say. When we
Hmm.
moved here, I didn't even wake up. Here I slept walk, fell down 7 steps, fractured my wrist, put a hole in my chin, went up the side of the wall, got blood all over it. Mind you, I still did not wake up. Um,
Whoa!
until they found me in the bathroom. My stepdaughter touched my wrist, and that's when I woke up. When my husband took me to the hospital, I had a hell of a time convincing them
Yeah,
that he
yeah.
did not beat me. He came out in the hallway and he had his gun drawn. He thought there was a home invasion because he saw the blood on the wall. So
Wow!
yeah. I act my dreams out and don't wake up. Uh,
You know that what you just said solidifies why you have MSA and not cerebellar ataxia?
yes.
You don't get RBD, REM behavior disorder, with just a deficiency of the cerebellar. You get that from a lack of dopamine in your putamen and nucleus caudate that doesn't produce enough dopamine, which causes bipolarism and REM behavior disorder, just like you said.
Yes, because I noticed like 2 years ago at Christmas time, I went to the bathroom in the night when I was good, and when I got back in bed, I fell and I hit the bedside table, and back in my arm was all black and blue. I started taking pictures to get something's attacking me when I sleep,
Hmm.
like I'm possessed when I sleep or a spiritual soul or something. But I get it now. At least I'm happy I understand the reason for it, and I know I'm not nuts.
She meant possessed in a positively religious way, not the bad way.
Correct.
And
Yes.
one, I have one more question. So, how did you feel? I know it was really a bad diagnosis, but how did you feel when you got your MSA diagnosis?
I think a little overwhelmed. Felt everything. I felt like a dog almost because like here, take your left notebook, card over, whatever. Um, it may not help. I feel like they're like just pacifying me. It's just time. I mean, like they really don't know. I feel like a lab rat. Like they're just studying me. Um,
Well, that medicine, 80% of MSA patients do not react to it. Most of
I don't
over
feel any
90,
different. I feel
right.
like a I don't want to say druggie because I've never been a druggie, but I feel like my body needs it
Yep.
because I take 2 pills at 6 o'clock in the morning, 2 pills at noon,
Yep.
2 pills at 6 o'clock in the evening. Um, I feel the carbidopa doesn't really do anything for me. Like I said, I just feel like withdrawn if I don't have it.
Do
I'll
you
withdraw.
get sick when you take it?
No, I do feel that one thing I do not have an appetite. I have to look at my watch and say, "Go eat something, girl." You
Hmm.
know. And this will sound weird. There, there's times where I feel my body's telling me like, juice celery. Have celery juice or don't have sugar because, like it's like it's evening or late or like don't have too much sugar. Eat vegetables. Eat something nutrients good for my body.
Drink a V8. Have you
Nutrition.
had your V8 today?
Yeah,
Herbalife. Yeah.
yeah.
Uh, Danielle, have you come across any, when you talk about MSA, try to explain MSA to people, any misconceptions? Like, whenever most people talk about MS, we don't say multiple system atrophy, we say MSA. They're like, oh, yeah, my uncle has MS. And they think MS is multiple sclerosis is MSA. Have you seen anything like that when you tried to explain it to people?
Um, I usually, like I said, just tell them to Google it or whatever. Cause I saw a man at one of the carnivals last summer. A friend of a friend, her cousin had cerebellum ataxia, and I thought, wow, that's what I look like. Like I was walking around at the time without any walking aids, and
Mhm.
he was drinking a beer, and I thought, oh wow, like poor thing. He spent all that money on beer, and he had to shake his arms, and the beer was like splattered out of his drink. He was dropping more than he drank because of his shakiness.
Yeah, that's something that MSA people typically don't have. We typically have tremors, but not tremors at resting. But Parkinson's is known more for having tremors at resting than they do for like action. Like I have action tremors. If I lift something up, like more than 10, 15 pounds, my tremors go crazy. Like I can feel the tremors right now. But that's really a differentiating feature of Parkinson's and MSA is most Parkinson's patients have a rest at rest. they're shaking when the medicine is no longer working. You can see tremors, uh, shaking food off their forks and spilling the beer and the water, stuff like that.
That's why I have a now I have a new bicycle. Uh, like
A
the
new one?
no, the end of
Oh,
the bicycle handlebars. You know
yeah, the rubber handles, whatever. Yeah,
I
the
have
grips.
those on my fork. They really help to
Otherwise,
eat.
you're gonna keep dropping stuff. Because Danielle, you spoke about on the email that I was reading about dropping things, right?
Yes, I have lots.
Yeah.
In fact, I just went in the refrigerator earlier today, got something out and dropped the container and the corn was all over the floor.
You
Oh,
you can actually put foam pool noodles, cut the foam, and make a little handle for your fork and your spoon to hold them better.
well, I use weighted silver or a big spoon.
Hmm.
Weighted
All right,
silver.
I just eat like a sailor.
A spatula.
Yeah. Hey,
Just
I
that.
want you to ask your doctor about rotary. David's going to ask his doctor about rotary.
That medicine.
It's
Yeah.
carbidopa levodopa, but it's actually um, extended release. It releases very
Yes, I've
slowly.
seen that. I've seen that advertised.
That's very helpful.
They got me on. I'm following one last thing for Mayo, just as a long shot, just in order to get my Mayo MDS urologist to say MSA. He says, "Do one more thing for me, then we'll switch over to MSA." One of my like 5 doctors. He's got me on 3 pills of carbidopa levodopa. I remember Danielle was saying 2, so if three is usually the max you can take 3 times a day. Um, just to prove him wrong, like what Danielle was speaking about earlier, just to prove him wrong, I'm going to take three times a day. It's like 300 by 75 is the medicine. Big portion, but you know, why not? Danielle, last question for me. Besides having a poodle and an awesome dog you have over is a
Then
Jack Russell, right?
it's a yeah,
Yeah,
Jack Russell Poodle mix.
that's the one on. I think that's the one on the movie Crimson Tide with Gene Hackman and Denzel Washington. I think. Love those dogs. Last question for me: is there anything else that you'd like the listeners to know about MSA, about your life, your battle, your 2 lovely sons, your husband, your lovely dog?
I mean, when you see people out there, and I used to always say it, because I worked in the handicap field. When you're born handicapped, that's the only life you know. But you're born, and then you do something, and this happens. It's like someone pulled the carpet out. Anything can happen in a heartbeat, and that's true. Just don't assume when you look at people, that they're drunk or there's more to their story behind them. There's always more that people present us, you know. And I greatly appreciate all the help, like when people hold doors or
Yeah.
any little thing they do for me. I always say thank you, thank you. I am so appreciative. Um, like this is all like new to me. I keep saying that. I've been going through it for
Hmm.
like 2, 3 years. May have been going through it my whole life. I don't know. But just appreciate, every day you have here. Like, find something that makes you happy or keep you happy because you only have your own happiness to count on. I mean,
Amen.
That's a
yeah,
wonderful
the
advice.
the doctors here, like I said, they said nothing was wrong. Like how nothing became something. I mean, I wish I wasn't right, but you know, and but they were wrong. They were wrong
You're kind of like,
more.
I see, like
Got
me. Sorry.
Yeah.
just have to educate these doctors around here and make it, get familiar with it. I mean, because it is such a rare disease.
You're like
You,
me. Don't take things for granted, right?
Correct? Correct.
I'm going to say something that's really sideways here, and don't take it the wrong way, but I'm happy. I really am. I'm happy to my soul that I have got this disease rather than somebody else who couldn't handle getting this disease. I read so many times on Facebook and Pinterest or Reddit and stuff where these patients are like, "Why me? Poor me. My life's ruined. Everything's gone." And rightfully they have, what they're saying is true, and emotions are emotions.
That's a
I,
wonderful way to look at it, David. I never
I'm,
thought
ha-
before.
I don't cry in public, but I will cry from time to time, a couple times a week, reading my Reddit posts for people that are just, it's the end of the world for them. I mean, yeah, it is, right? I don't want to make light of it, but
What a
how much,
wonderful way to look at it, David, though.
how
That's true.
right? How better for us that can try, at least try to take it on, than those that how many people commit suicide from diseases and things that are happening around us? A lot of people, right? So you know, put it on our shoulders. Those of us that are not only physically strong but mentally strong. I would trade heart spots with anybody in a heartbeat, because I will make this MSA run long. Believe you me, Danielle, Daisy, this disease, it's either going to catch me at nighttime when I'm not paying attention, or it's not. I'm going to make this puppy take a toll, and it's going to go for years. It's not going to get the best of
You're
me.
fighting. You're MSA strong.
Well, because we're capable of that. So I know it's a little controversial, but I do think that, I don't want to say thank God in this case, but I'm fortunate that it was me and not somebody else who
Good.
maybe would have committed suicide by now.
Very good way of looking at it. I
Yeah.
never thought of it that way.
I just
Danielle,
don't think I'd be known as that girl that took her own life. Like
right?
I don't see you know, my husband and I used to joke, like, when we had to put my last dog down, she was a petite pit bull. She had a big smile on her face. Like, so that led me to believe, like, there's got to be somewhere, that she was smiling at me, that
Yeah,
I knew I made
Thank
the right
you.
decision.
She
yeah.
was thanking you for her not having to suffer no more. Wow.
Danielle, do you have any idea how now Parkinson's, for example, which MSA is close to it? Parkinson's is really known for having connections with um, weed killing pesticides and things like that. Do you have any, like mine? My symptoms started just a couple of days after I fell in my shower and hit my head. Do you have now? There's no connection between traumatic brain injury and MSA. None at all. There's no research. There's been research, but nothing conclusive. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't do nothing crazy. I drink. So what? Socially. Um, do you have any wild idea as to how possibly MSA got into you?
No, no, they're doing a lot of testing now. It could have been something when I was in the Navy over in Iraq and Kuwait. They just don't know because there was burn pits.
Yeah,
So they're
Gulf War syndrome. Yeah,
so they're through the VA and through Penn Hospital. They're still looking into it. I may not be here by the time they figure out what happened, but
yeah. My uncle was a medical nurse in the 101st Airborne, or 82nd or 101st Airborne, and he was in the first Gulf War. And you mentioned burn pits. Well, when they went to Iraq, they didn't find nuclear and stuff like weapons like that, but they did find chemical. They didn't find no biological, but they found some chemical weapons they were trying to develop. It wasn't enough to make world news. So you speak about burn pits, like they literally, as he told me, they put these things in pits covered with jet fuel, light on fire, let it burn. What they didn't know, somebody did their job, was his platoon or whatever was downwind from the burn pit.
Wow.
So all those chemicals, all the stuff they're burning, so jet fuel, they consumed it, and hence comes the term Gulf War syndrome in sorts. It's kind of like the Agent Orange back in Vietnam. Right? You don't know until you use it with the side effects of this stuff. And now he has multiple sclerosis. Like not immediately, but years after the first Gulf War. Now he has MS, and with the Gulf War syndrome. So chemicals for sure played an impact with him. Like you speak about being in Iraq and stuff, and Kuwait and stuff. You never know, especially being around a burn pit. So some of the most harshest things are in those burn pits. That's for sure.
Yes, when we're through the area where they blew a lot of stuff up or, burned a lot of stuff, it's just going to take time. Like I
Yeah.
said, time and studies.
Yep. A lot of research. Well, Danielle, I want to thank you for being on our podcast, the MSA Crusaders, with us today,
Thank you for having me.
and your lovely dog. It's not. We all have real lives. We understand interruptions. It's fine. We still heard you perfectly fine.
And thank you for putting up with me today.
Yeah, our horrible
Nice
jokes.
to meet you both.
It was really nice meeting you, Danielle.
Thank
I
you.
would love to thank you for coming on MSA Crusaders and speaking with us.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
We'd like to have you come back like in a few months and tell us how things are going. And I want you to keep in touch with me on Facebook.
Definitely will keep in touch. And
Excellent.
if I start the I'll
Yeah,
reach out to you and let you know how that's going. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'll let you know.
Please do. And Danielle, one more thing. Remember, we're all MSA Crusaders.
Yes, we have to make people aware. Like I said, I worked in a hospital in the brain injury unit, and I've never seen this, never even heard of it until I got it.
Well, we have
And
to
I
stick
worked, what,
together.
28 years?
never.
Never.
I wanted to be an MSA martyr, but Daisy says I have to be an MSA Crusader. So I guess we all are. All of
We're
us are
all
MSA Crusaders.
It has a nice ring to it.
It does.
Thank you again,
Pepper
Danielle.
Grace.
Thank you,
Thank
Danielle.
you. Bye-bye.